Hi guys, how are you today? So let us continue working. So during our last lesson, we read the text about a film which is called The Wave. And so, do you remember who are the main characters of this film? And now we are going to speak more about these guys, main characters from The Wave. So open your students' books at page 87 and have a look. Exercise number 7. So, let us read and translate these sentences. Sinan is more sociable than Marco. How can we translate it? Она, это девочка, более общительная, чем Марко. Более общительная. Sinan and Marco are both sociable. Они both это оба. Они оба общительные. Lisa is more confident than Carol. Лиза более уверена, чем Carol. Lisa is less confident than Carol. Она менее уверена, чем Carol. Что мы сейчас сделали? Мы с вами сравнивали людей с использованием разных фраз. More, less. И да, в русском языке и в английском языке есть такая фраза такой же, как кто-то. Have a look. Sentence builder. Для сравнения еще можно говорить не только, что кто-то лучше в чем-то или хуже в чем-то, но можно также сказать, что он такой же, как. Have a look. Sinan is as sociable as Marco. Sinan такая же общительная, как Марко. Lisa is not as confident as Carol. Лиза не такая же уверенная, как Carol. То есть, давайте посмотрим на структуру. Если такой же, как кто-то, мы используем as, прилагательное as. Обращаю ваше внимание, то, что это лишь структура. И, следовательно, обязательно в предложении должны присутствовать что? Подлежащее и сказуемое. То есть, подлежащее, глагол is, что кто-то является. For example, I am as, I don't know, outgoing as my friend. То есть I am, глагол to be, не забывайте про него, это крайне важно. If it is a negative sentence and we want to show that, and we want to compare, but with the negative meaning, we use also structure as, but with not. So, подлежащее, сказуемое, not as, прилагательное as. Lisa is not as confident as Carol. My friends are not as outgoing as my colleagues. Strange example. Okay, I want you to copy this information into your personal files vocabulary. So now, exercise 8. Let us do it all together to discuss. So, we should use the cues to invent sentences about the characters in the wave. So, have a look, an example. Tim, Sporty, Marco. We should use the text from page 86 to understand the meaning. So, Tim is not as sporty as Marco. Что мы сделали? Во-первых, мы в тексте уточнили по смыслу все-таки, какой вариант верный. Такой же ли Тим спортивный, как Марко, или не такой спортивный? Во-вторых, мы добавили с вами что? Глагол. Без него не может быть предложение. И уже саму структуру. Not as, прилагательное as. Let us do the second sentence. Sinan, good at water polo, Marco. Что у нас в тексте про нее написано? Да, что она так же хорошо в водном поло, как Марко. So, Sinan is as good at water polo as Marco. Number 3. Marco, outgoing. Sinan. Marco is as outgoing as Sinan. Marco interested in the wave, Lisa. Marco is as interested in the wave as Lisa. Lisa's personality is not as strong as Carol's personality. Sinan is not as unhappy as Tim. Okay, now I want you to do exercise number 10. Have a look. You can do this exercise orally, not in writing. You should invent sentences about a person on your list. So, invite sentences about one person from the text about the wave. Have a look, an example. He is not as tall as Tom, but he is slimmer. So you shouldn't use people from the text about any person, just to practice these structures. He is not as tall as Tom, but he is slimmer. Помним, как образуется сравнительная степень прилагательных. Если слово короткое, мы прибавляем окончание er. Если слово длинное, трехсложное, например, то у нас спереди идет либо more, если больше, либо less, если меньше, и в начальной форме слова. Например, this guy is more intelligent than another guy. This person is more attractive или less attractive than the other person. His hair is not as long as Paul's and it is darker. He is not as tidy as Ricky, but he is more outgoing. He is more hardworking than Tim, but he is not as confident. Настоятельно вам рекомендую повторить, найти в персональном файле записи по поводу сравнительной степени прилагательных. Okay, turn the page. Turn the page. So what can we see? We can see photo, the heading goodbye, and the postcard, which is on the left. So I think that it is the goodbye card. And what does it mean? Let us look. I want you to look through this postcard, and then I will ask you some questions. So this postcard is for Maria, and she is an exchange student. Do you know what does it mean, an exchange student? Usually secondary or high school students who spend between 3 months or a year living and studying abroad. They usually stay with the host family and study at a local school or college. Although they are called exchange students, there is no swapping required. They do not change places with another student. One person of such programs is for teenagers to experience living and studying in a different culture. So, Maria is an exchange student, and have you finished reading the postcard? I'm going to ask you some questions. So, where is Maria from? Well, if we see that she's from Novosibirsk, it is in Russia, so probably she's from Russia. What does she do? Well, she studies and she plays the violin. What did she do in London? She studied music and she was a student, yes, because she studied. And what present did she get? Well, I think that it is something to listen to, and probably it is a CD disc or something like that. Now, I want you to look at the right side of this page, and we can see a forum between some people communicating. Yeah, and your task is to read the messages on the students' forum about a goodbye party for Maria. So probably it was her last day in another country, being an exchange student, and read it and do exercise number 2. So tomorrow we will continue speaking about Maria and her life. So see you tomorrow.